Wow. Well, she done. I worked out what the green stuff and the white paint is. It's a blooming copper chrome arsenate coming out. That's the actual treating stuff leaching into the paint. Anyway, yeah, a bit of a circus. A bit more of a circus than I ever would have suspected. Because you got these, where you've got cables coming from one panel and cables coming from the other panel. Yeah, you got to put brackets in the middle, don't you? So this bit of wood that's screwed in here has to go. So you basically got to get it like a 3 like that. So you got to take the top piece off, slot it through like that, and then put the top piece back on. Just because of your blooming cables being in the way. And you might notice that this is a little bit, I don't know why, but it's a little bit skew-iff there. Which is sort of strange. There was a point there where he decided to give this one a bit of a pull, and I could hear that bloody start to crack almost. So that could be something to do with it all. But either way, it's sort of, like these are sort of pretty much all, almost perfect. And the brackets seem to be perfectly mounted in the middle, and the outer sides are all perfectly flush with that edge, which means we've done a brilliant job. That one might be about 1.5 mil over, but somehow all this isn't square. But I measured it last night and it seemed bloody perfect. I didn't measure it corner to corner, I sort of measured from the end to the middle to... So yeah, it might be looking a bit more like bump, 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 if you know what I mean. Yeah, but all the same, this is all treated, so this should be bulletproof and should last a long time if it's the blasted staples don't. They probably start leaking with the staples. The amount of staples I had in this wasn't too good at all. They put these in plastic wrap, just because that's what you really want is, plastic over the top of wood building up moisture inside. They they put them in plastic wrap, and they use these little staples to hold the plastic wrap on. I know that because I worked at a timber mill for a short while, an afternoon shift, and yeah, that's how we done it. Anyway, sometimes they have the grader wood and all that too on a little bit of plastic, and they staple it on. But it's one of those hammer staplers where you got what it looks like a claw hammer, but you got to staple them out in there, and you bang, 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 and each hit will put a staple in. Anyway, I seem to notice there's a bit of difference between the bottom and the top. My father's gone back to, because we're all mounted that much high, because now we're in brackets, the bloody screws ain't going to fit through. So he's gone back to get some 4-inch screws because the 3-inch weren't going to make it. Or not sufficiently anyway. And yeah, but that's sort of, as he said, now you got a bit more airflow. And the other thing was, the other one, all this here was directly silicon on with the wood here. So the brain would run down from the top, go over the edge, silicon, bang, straight onto the wood. Whereas this one, you've got a bit here and quite a bit there. That's really 2 inches or something. So, it's all going to drip free. Yeah, strange that but I must have just, like I said, you sort of have it on a, bit twisted on an angle or something. This is a trouble, trying to cut it all with a circular saw. You'd never get those ends absolutely perfectly straight. So when you go to, they can be a little bit on an angle and stuff, and just the way it sort of goes, because you just don't have that accuracy of having a back plate when you use a circular saw. But yeah, my gosh, it was a circus. We had ladders and bits of timber and these 2 blooming prop things on this end, and then we had ropes tying it back to the roof just to make sure it didn't. So what a frickin' nut job. The difference between having 1 panel and 2 panels side by side is astronomical. The amount of bloody horse shit you go through is just hard to believe, actually. But anyway, fingers crossed we don't have to deal with this for another few more years. So these panels are damn grubby and need a bit of a clean up. I think they're just getting all crap off the trees. So the other one here, almost nothing, you know, there's a little bit, but it's all just wipes clean, whereas this, it's sort of, I might actually need some Windex or a little bit of detergent or something. But I think this just cops all the, it's probably lichen based stuff. But yeah, really speaking, I don't need to worry about that at the moment. I just need to get a bead of silicone up through here, and that'll protect any of the battery and whatnot underneath. Well, it'll actually protect the wood, but yeah, it stops water getting down near the battery compartment. Yeah, and that'll be that until tomorrow, and then I'll, you know, be able to get on and clean the panels because the silicone would have set overnight. Yeah, these panels are not great. Not great at all. A lot of yellowing and bullshit, you know. These are the dumb bastards who've been selling me all this junk, you know. The 25-year warranty, and you look at it, you know, within 4 years we're getting all these bloody bubbles arising. The strange thing is, the other panel here is about 2 years older, same manufacturer. And it's perfect. Absolutely spot on. You know, comparative. And you're like, how's that happen? Eventually we're going to have to do this too. I reckon it'll make another winter, but I'm probably not going to let it get that far. I'm probably just going to go put the roof racks on the van, go buy a bit more timber. And I might not do that because I've actually got enough hardwood around here that I could probably just do this completely in hardwood. Which, you know, naturally is water resistant, but I'm going to paint it with 3 coats regardless. And then we can change this, but this is going to be no big deal at all because it's just one, you know, the overlap bullshit, because where see how that flange is out there? Well, you had this one going this way, this one going this way. Now how the frickin' hell are you going to get the screws for this one without moving this one? And then how are you going to get these ones screws without? So he was there pulling it one way, doing one light, pulling the other way, doing it. And I'm going, well, you know, the thickness of the little bracket edge here, the screw's actually thicker, so we can't be full on, but you know. But this one's a fix because that's bolted in, and this one here. So that's why we need to put this in. And he's got the other one of these. We'll put that up there somewhere. And then that'll hold all this one, and then we'll be fine after I run silicone right up through there. And that'll be good. But I might one day get myself what they call a clamp meter. And you can sort of tell what the power of each individual panel is giving without actually doing any mucking with any wires or even one panel interfering with the other. Because it uses like an induction thing. And you've got a big clamp that opens up, and then you can sit it over. It goes clonk like that, and it'll tell the exact current running through the lines. It's quite a smart machine. And not exactly cheap. They're about $300, the one I was looking at. So they're not your average multimeter that we can get here for less than the cost of a McDonald's burger. Thanks to China. But anyway, she all seems to be holding up pretty good, even with all this blooming lichen and bird shit and dust and who knows what else on it. It's like you really got to get in, and it's almost like the dirt's ingrained or something into it. Anyway, that's one successful thing that I've been stressing like hell about, and it's now done.